So you're traveling to Istanbul and you're probably wondering how you're gonna see everything in the limited time that you have there, because Istanbul is a massive, beautiful city. But don't worry, I got you guys covered. My name is David Casper, and I'm gonna be talking about how you can do 2.5 to 3 days in Istanbul and see absolutely everything that you need to see in the city. Now I'm gonna get straight into this video and I'm gonna go day by day. Now you don't need to follow the days exactly. You can do day 1 on day 3 or vice versa, but I would try to stick to the days if you do want to see everything and if you do want to avoid long queues. Now, when you arrive in Istanbul, whether you've got half a day or whether you've got the full day, the first thing I'd recommend on day 1, especially if you're staying in the old town, is go straight to the Sophia Hagia. Now you are extremely lucky if you're in Istanbul for 4 nights and you get the 3 full days, because you get to avoid a lot more of the queues. However, if you are there for 3 nights and you only get the 2.5 days, then go there when you drop all your stuff off at the hotel or the accommodation and just wait the queue. It's going to be the only long queue you're going to have to wait, but the same thing is going to apply for this entire video. You're going to want to get to all the main attractions first thing in the morning to avoid the crowds, to avoid the long lines. You don't want those long lines eating into your holiday time, because there is so much to see in Istanbul. But one thing I will say is when you get to the front of the queue for the Hagia Sophia, is not to fall for the museum scam. And this is definitely a 100% a scam. It happens behind the ticket office and it's a little bit scummy in my eyes, and I'm pretty sure these people make commission off of it, but they word it like it's something within the Hagia Sophia, something that you need to see. They basically say it's a viewing gallery, viewing platform, and you think, okay, it's something that you want to see within the Hagia Sophia in all its beauty. You obviously you're in Istanbul, you want to see everything you can see. But what they do not tell you is this is a separate building, it's a museum, and that's basically all it is. If you're into the history, of course, then why not? It actually did teach me a lot. We did fall for this scam, but if we knew where it was, we would have 100% not taken this additional ticket, because it is really expensive compared to the original entry fee. So do not fall for the scam if you're not interested in museums. Now, if you are, it will tell you about the history, the Roman times, the restoration, the wars that went on. It is pretty cool to learn about the history of Istanbul and the Hagia Sophia. But yeah, do not fall for the scam. But once you finish with the Hagia Sophia, go to the Blue Mosque. Now there are praying times in the Blue Mosque, so you won't be able to enter all the time. But there is a board at the front that will tell you the praying times, and you'll also probably be able to find this online. Now I will say, if you're in the area at night as well, there's a little park in between with a fountain. It is definitely worth the visit. So this is why I'm saying the Old Town is one of the best places to stay in, because it's the heart of Istanbul in my eyes. Now once you finish with the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, it all depends on the time. Now if you're there for the full day, you're probably still going to end up having a lot of the day still to kill. I'd recommend just going for a little walk around there. There's a bunch of different parks, a bunch of different buildings you can see around the area. Like I said, you are in the heart of Istanbul. But if it's hitting around 7:30, 8, you're going to want to head up to the Basilica Cistern. Now, the reason why you want to go there late is because during the day there isn't a light show. At night, after a certain hour, I don't know if it's 7:30 or 8, do not quote me on that, there is a light show. If you go there after 8, you're going to go to this light show, and yeah, you're basically seeing the underground tombs of Istanbul. It's really nice. It actually is really nice. It's definitely worth the visit, but like I said, go there later on in the day. Now, especially if you don't want to end up following this order, 100% go at night, because during the day you're not going to get the same feel as you would at night. Now that wraps up day 1 of Istanbul, and we're now going to head into day 2. And day 2, you're going to be traveling out a little bit more. You're going to end up heading to one of Istanbul's biggest palaces, and it is probably one of the highlights of the trip. Now you're going to start your day nice and early. You're going to want to head up to one of the boat docks. Now these boats go from numerous different docks in Istanbul. The main one is next to Fisherman's Bridge, but you're going to want to get a boat that goes to Dolmabahçe Palace. And Dolmabahçe Palace is one of the, in my eyes, probably one of the best things you can see in Istanbul. You're going to be spending about 3 or 4 hours here. Again, you're going to want to get there nice and early. So have your breakfast early, first thing in the morning if you are getting a bed and breakfast at the hotel, and head straight there, because the queues, again, like anywhere in Istanbul with big attractions, the queues get massive and you do want to avoid the crowds. Now, Dolmabahçe Palace has beautiful gardens. You can go inside, and even inside the building, you're spending a solid 1 or 2 hours. Then you've got museums, galleries. Like, I think we spent about 4 or 5 hours in the Dolmabahçe Palace. Yeah, there's a lot to see. There is a lot to see. Of course, taking a boat there as well, you're probably going to be taking 20 or 30 minutes on the boat. And then to walk from the dock to Dolmabahçe Palace, it's another like 20 to 30 minutes walk. Also, one cool thing to know, especially for people that love football, Besiktas's stadium is right next to Dolmabahçe Palace. So yeah, if you do manage somehow to find the time, then you could potentially do a stadium tour there, or even go see a game if you do manage to get your hands on tickets. Because I know Turkish people love their football just like us British people do. So yeah, that is also something you can do. Now after Dolmabahçe Palace, you're gonna want to head to Galata Tower, and yeah, Galata Tower, you're gonna have to wait a queue no matter what. There's no point of going early. The queue's not as big as other queues, but we were probably in the queue for maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. But I'd recommend going on a sunny day. Now, we were very unfortunate in our time in Istanbul. Like you can see in all these videos, it was extremely cloudy most of our holiday, which was very unfortunate. But again, it is what it is. You can't predetermine these things. You can't let that ruin your holiday though, can you? So if you do get the chance, try to go here on a nice sunny day and see the tower. There's great views of Istanbul. And then once you finish with Galata Tower, you can end up going to the higher streets in Istanbul. It's a new side of Istanbul. This is a new city. There's higher streets, there's buildings. Just, yeah, walk around the area for a little bit. It is really nice. There are some really nice streets as well. But that basically covers day 2 pretty much. I'd recommend, if you do find the time and if it is something you're into, get yourself a sunset cruise, because sunset cruises are super nice. I'm going to be making a separate video on this. But one of the sunset cruises basically go near the palace. There's and the stadium. Highly recommend. I will be making a separate video on this. If not, then you can do this on day 3 from the Fisherman Bridge, like I said. And they offer a lot of sunset cruises as well. But I would recommend at least dedicating one of your nights to a sunset cruise. And that basically will finish off either day 2 or day 3 for you. Now the 3rd day, again, nice and early, you're going to want to go to this place. You're going to want to go to the Topkapi Palace. Now the Topkapi Palace is the much older palace, but again, queues get crazy, crowds get very busy. I mean, with the really narrow hallways and like just how tight everything is over there, you're going to want to head there extremely early. Now this is definitely one of the most expensive things you can do in Istanbul. I believe tickets are like £40 or something like that. It's expensive, but it is worth seeing. You're like, put it this way, if you don't go to Topkapi Palace, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be like, why didn't we see it? Why didn't we do that? You're in Istanbul, you might as well see it. And you are gonna spend a solid 3 or 4 hours there. The gardens are really nice. You do learn about the history of Istanbul as well. You're going to be spending at least a solid 3 or 4 hours. And then from there, you're going to want to head to Grand Bazaar and basically do yourself a bit of shopping. If you don't want to do shopping, it was also cool to see the spice markets, the bazaar. Just see how Turkey is. Like, embrace Turkey, because you don't see stuff like the Grand Bazaar everywhere you go to. I mean, we went to Morocco earlier this year, and it's night and day. Like, the difference is similar. There's similar similarities, but it's night and day between the two of them. And yeah, Grand Bazaar is definitely worth seeing. And then after that, just walk around the area. There's a few mosques you can go visit. Again, you can head towards near Fisherman Bridge, and that basically will cover most of the holiday. Now, if you are there for the extra day, then you can go to, like, for example, me being there for 3.5 days. The final day, we ended up just deciding to go to the Asian side of Istanbul, just to kill the time, because we practically saw everything we wanted to see at that point. And I'm not gonna lie, there's not much to see in the Asian side. But like I said, if you're there for 3 nights and you only have 2.5 days, ignore the Asian side. There's not much to see. But if you are there for the extra day, then why not? It gives you something to do. It gives you something to see. Is it as special as the rest of Istanbul? No. So when you see all these people making videos saying you need to stay in the Asian side, you need to stay there, do not go to the old city, these people are just trying to waste your holiday and waste your money, because it's going to be expensive for you to traveling in and out of the Asian side to go to the old city and the new city of Istanbul. But that wraps up this video. This is how you will see all of Istanbul. Of course, I'm not going into the full details of other things you can see, but I guess I want you guys to also enjoy your holiday and do stuff at your own will. I've just given you the advice I would give you and the things I wish I knew. But yeah, as you can tell in this video, I didn't go over all the attractions you can see. I went over the main ones you can see, the ones where the queues are really busy. But around each of these landmarks, there's a bunch of other things you can see. I'll let you discover that yourself. I will be making separate videos of top 10 things you can do in Istanbul, tips and tricks as well. I mean, I've given you a few in this video. Queues are long, try to stick to these days the best you can. And then after that, you can kind of rotate with what else you want to do. Like I said earlier, I'd highly recommend the sunset cruise, but I will be making a separate video on that, so subscribe for more information. But until then, I'll see you in my next one.